We're back now for round 5 of this first season of F1 Manager 23 randomized career mode. Once again, I've progressed through the kind of pre-race weekend stuff. So I'm just going to try and show you whatever we can. Moderate rain for practice, but that doesn't really matter because we're just skipping through practice anyway. Although there is looking like there's rain for the race, so that could be interesting. So let's have a look at. I mean, what do we have first of all? Well, we do have a few upgrades on the cars since the last race. So if we look at Verstappen's car parts, we have now got, do we have, okay, we can actually put that on. So we've now got, and I've not put it on yet, front wing, new front wing, which I can hopefully put on both cars. Car parts, front wing, still on car 2, so new front wing on both cars. I think we've also got a rear wing. Okay, we've only got one. Okay, we can only put a rear wing on one car now. I think we've also, so car 1. Okay, we're going to put the rear wing on Alonso's car because, as you can see, Alonso's got level 1 underfloor, whereas Verstappen's got level 2 underfloor. I mean, we could just put all the upgrades on Verstappen, and Verstappen is doing better at the moment, but I think we'll even it out a little bit. We'll give Verstappen the underfloor, we'll give Alonso the rear wing. That may be a mistake, but that's what we're going to go for. That's pretty much it. I did a couple of things of research for going into next season. We may not be driving as Haas next season, but we at least want to do that because otherwise we'll just completely screw Haas over, and I don't really want to do that. I want to keep things interesting in this career mode. We also, I think, did a bit of manufacturing for a couple of other parts, and also did some design work for a level 2 chassis, because that's the only car part that we don't have level 2 of now. So yeah, that's the pre-race weekend stuff out of the way. So let's get into qualifying for the Canadian Grand Prix. Right, so it turns out that after we did that qualifying sim, it turns out that we've actually got some damaged parts on both cars, engine and gearbox. I think we can change these out before qualifying, and we've got plenty here. Because we're only doing a 10 race season, we should be able to do this, you know, change these without even having a penalty. So we are gonna put new engine for Verstappen, new gearbox for Verstappen, and we will do the same for Alonso as well, as we might as well. They're not massively worn, but we've got the parts, so we might as well use them. So there we go. We are now good on that for those two, and we will now get into qualifying. Right, coming to the end of our Q1 laps here. We should be safe with both cars, but we have gone out again just in case with the same set of tyres. Alonso's actually not improving, and he is, if anyone, he is the one that needs to improve here. I think he's still going to be safe though. We've got a big old gap to Sargent there. I mean, I expect Leclerc to go a bit quicker, but I think we'll be okay. Verstappen, well, was improving, although now he's got stuck behind a McLaren. So the McLaren gets out of the way, but we've lost a lot of time in that middle sector. Alonso is going to come and cross the line here. It's not going to be an improvement for him, though. Very, very scrappy lap. Oh, no, he does actually improve with a good green final sector. P10 for him. P6 for Verstappen at the moment. Will he improve? Green first sector, yellow second sector. He crosses the line, and he does not improve, but he's still there up in the top 10. Let's fast forward through this.
So mode in, please. Mode in.
Should be perfectly fine here. Yes, we are through to Q2, no problem at all. P7 and P10, both drivers pretty close to each other. 2 tenths there, and out in Q1, Piastri's not doing a good job in this AlphaTauri. Piastri seems very low rated in this game. You know, I mean, I know it's his first season in F1. With 2023, but he does seem very low rated and doesn't seem to do very well from what I've seen, even when he's in McLaren, normally. Then you've got Zhou, Logan Sargent, Yuki Tsunoda, and Alex Albon. So Sargent outqualifies Albon, so that's pretty big. That's Q1 done. Right, Verstappen not improving on this lap. He's currently P7. Might be okay. Leclerc and Hamilton probably the big threats from behind, and I guess Bottas as well to push us down a little bit. But I think Verstappen will be okay, and he's not improving on his laps here. Alonso, though, once again, he's the one more at risk there in P9. He is improving on his lap times. So he's the one we really want to watch for here. to see if he can make sure he gets through, because I expect Leclerc and Hamilton and probably Bottas to get ahead of us, especially if we don't improve here. So we just got to try and do as well as we can here in this last lap of Q2. Can we get both cars into Q3 for the second time this season? Alonso comes to the line. It is an improvement, but not by position. Leclerc is out though. Leclerc he's not even out on track. Hamilton is out on track, but he doesn't look like he's going, no, in lap for him. Bottas is on the cusp, but he's on a fast lap. But I don't think, well, it looks like he's going to be safe anyway, because everybody else is on an in lap. So that's going to be, he might go quicker than Alonso. He doesn't, but we've got both cars through to Q3 once again here. Verstappen 7th, Alonso 8th, Alonso 9th. Once again, very close, within a 10th, pretty much there. Very close for both drivers, just outside a 10th, I think that is. But both cars into Q3, so good news for us. Right, Alonso coming to the end of his first flying lap. I've gone onto a slightly used set of soft tyres for this first run. I think it was Alonso only had one new set to use for this session, so we're going to use that set on the final flying lap. So it's probably not going to be an amazing lap. Still pretty decent from Alonso on this first lap here. Verstappen, as a Red Bull gets out of the way, coming down the back straight now for Max Verstappen. He's got a Ferrari of, I think that's George Russell ahead of him. Will Verstappen improve on Alonso's time? They both have, I think they were like 95% wear soft tyres. Verstappen crosses the line. He's not as quick as Alonso, but look how close it is. Really, really close. 9 thousandths of a second between our two drivers at the moment. Norris currently at the front, but we've got a whole nother set of laps to go at the end of this session. Here we go. We're about to start our final flying laps of the session. We're currently sitting P7 and P8. Alonso ahead of Verstappen at the moment, so I think a shift from Q1 and Q2, where I'm pretty sure Verstappen's been the driver ahead, but it's been very close between the two of them in this qualifying session so far. So we'll have to see how this turns out in the end. Brand new set of tyres for both drivers here, so they should be improving. They really should be improving here. So here we go. Alonso, as he comes up to the first sector, he has improved. It's a green first sector for Alonso, so that is very good to see. Pushing this car as well as he can. Hülkenberg and Perez, the two cars behind us on the qualifying sheets there, so I'd expect especially Hülkenberg to be quicker, because his teammate George Russell up there in P1 at the moment, just ahead of the two Red Bulls, as Alonso only yellow through sector 2, so not a great second sector for Fernando Alonso. Hopefully he can pull out a little bit more in this final sector here to improve his position, but we'll have to wait and see. A lot of traffic everywhere as we come down the back straight here. Hopefully won't affect us. Might affect us a little bit through the final corner there, as we have Perez ahead of us, I believe, starting his flying lap. Alonso crosses the line and he does not improve. It's still P7 for him. Verstappen coming towards the end of his lap now as we head down the hairpin and onto the back straight. Verstappen is green first sector, green second sector as well, so he is on for a he is on to beat Alonso here, because he's only 9 thousandths of a second behind him anyway. So I expect Verstappen is going to go ahead of Alonso here, but how much further ahead? Because it's very close between, well, Bottas is very close ahead of us, a bit more of a gap to Ricciardo, as Verstappen crosses the line, and he goes P6, he goes ahead of Ricciardo. Good lap. Good lap for Verstappen there. Who else is on laps right now? We got who behind? Perez is the only driver behind us on a flying lap, so he's the only one who can go ahead of Alonso and Verstappen. I'm not going to check his sectors, so we're just going to keep him. Well, actually, we might as well. We'll see. He's yellow through the first sector, green through the second sector. So is Perez going to displace one or both of our drivers here, or maybe none? We'll have to wait and see. He crosses the line. He goes 8th, so that means that he beats Alonso. Fernando Alonso will be starting 10th for the Canadian Grand Prix. Verstappen, though, looking like it's P6 for him. Nobody behind him on laps anymore. And yes, P6 for Max Verstappen, so good result. Good result in quali there. A 111.8. Very, very nice. Esteban Ocon gets another pole position ahead of George Russell. Alonso down there in P10. Both cars in the top 10. That is good. Let's see what the race has in store. It's now time for the Canadian Grand Prix. Now, strategy is going to be interesting here because we do have rain expected for this race. However, it's looking like it's gonna start dry. That's what it looks like to me, at least off this graphic. I mean, I don't think our weather kind of radar system, our forecast system is great, so it might not be very accurate, but by this it looks like we're potentially going to be starting dry and then it's going to go into wet weather later on. So I guess by that we're going to click strategy A, but we're going to change it a little bit. We're going to start on softs, of course we might as well, if it's going to get wet pretty early on. Then I guess, because I don't know how, I mean, it looks like quite a bit of rain, but I think we'll go inters to start with, and that rain looks like it's going to come around about here. So if we go like there, and we can always, you know, change that as the weather progresses on. I think we'll just leave it at that for now because we don't know. I mean, it looks like the rain might teeter off a bit towards the end. We might want to go onto another set of inters instead, or onto a set of softs if it, you know, stops raining quite early on. I think for now that is going to have to be the strategy for Verstappen. We can always change this while we're racing, of course. Now, what lap did I tell him to hit on for that one? Lap 15. So I think just to offset it for Alonso, we'll go lap 16. Onto inters, update that one, make sure that our driver options are high, everything's on full attack mode. And yep, this is looking like it's going to be our first wet race of the season, so let's see how this Canadian Grand Prix goes.
This is it, we're moments away now at the Canadian Grand Prix.
Alright, here we go. It is dry at the moment. Oh, very quick on the lights there. Everybody's on softs because I guess, you know, that is the way to go with the rain coming pretty early on. 4 minutes, 45% chance of rain apparently. So the rain could be coming. Verstappen already gotten ahead of Hulkenberg. Or, well, they're still side by side battling it out down to this next corner. Actually, he's not completely made the move yet, and Hulkenberg probably is going to get back past us. Yes, he is there, but that was a good initial start from Verstappen. Let's get it on interval. Alonso kind of just staying where he is at the moment, but all looking good. Bit of a battle going on at the front there. Russell staying ahead of Ocon at the moment. Verstappen still right here, tucked up behind Hulkenberg. Decent start for both of our drivers. Verstappen is actually looking pretty quick at the moment. We're going to put ERS battle on both drivers because that's always helpful to have. And let's see how quickly this rain is going to take to come. Alonso very close behind Bottas here actually, who's already fallen away from a second, although he has just caught back up into that hairpin, but looking pretty close. Verstappen dropping back a little bit from Hulkenberg, not quite being able to stay up there. It's looking pretty tense at the front here between Russell and Ocon. Nose to tail with each other. Russell looking a bit unstable over the curb there, out of the wall of champions. Is Ocon going to try and go for a move into turn one? Not quite. Not quite at the moment. DRS is now enabled though. This rain not looking like it's coming yet, but saying 2 minutes at the moment on my little radar. Oh, looks like Verstappen has gotten past Hulkenberg.
This is what happened.
Let's have a look at this.
Was the seventh corner. The opportunity's there.
Look at that, great work from Verstappen. Alonso's also gotten past Bottas. So we're making moves early in this race. That is good. I mean, we're pushing a lot. I figured we might as well push on these tyres because we're going to change onto the inters before they are, you know, before the softs are really worn. Then we might as well go for it. That might not end up being the case, but 1 minute, the rain, oh, it's 1 minute until not quite rain. I don't know 100% how to read that, but I still think the rain is coming. Alright, just had the message about the rain. There is rain coming. You can see up here now 3 minutes, 55%, and we've got the rain symbol. So rain is on its way here. So yes, very exciting. Oh, Max is saying that there's drops, and you can see the rain. You can see the rain starting to come down quite heavily, actually. Are people going to come in? Yeah, this is the question. I don't know what to do with... Oh, is this intermediate already? It is coming down quite a lot already, isn't it? I don't want to make a brass decision here. I really need to wait to see what everybody else does. Ocon's going for a move into turn... No, he isn't. He's coming into the pits. All right, so Ocon's the first one to... Everybody else seems to be carrying on. So, okay. I reckon that means that we are going to go for Max Verstappen. We're going to pit this lap onto the inters, and for Alonso, I guess we're going to pit next lap. Next lap onto the inters for Alonso. Because here is Ocon, and yep, he's onto the intermediate tyres. This could be big for this race. The car from second place, first driver onto the intermediates. I think he might be the only one who's come into the pits here this early, so could be bad, could be good. Looking at the rain though, I think he has made the right call here. Uh-oh, there's been a crash. There has been a crash somewhere. Oh, what's happened to Zhou? Zhou and Albon.
The cars
Oh, right into each other.
Oh, that's quite an impact between them. And they'll
Ooh,
have to
quite a
pick
bit of
themselves
damage
up
actually on the
after
front
that.
wing for the McLaren there. Is he out of the race? Is he out of the race? No, he is still... He is still going. We are now coming though to our pit stop. Do we want a double stack, to be honest, actually? Because it is rather wet out there. I think we might. It is rather wet now, isn't it? I think we're going to double stack. We're going to pit this lap now for Alonso. Get both cars in on the same lap. I think that's going to be the way to go here. It's very, very nip and tuck in the pit lane here. Let's speed down here. We are going to have to double stack. Hopefully it's a quick stop for Verstappen so we don't... Oh, it's not. It's not a quick stop at all. They can't get the rear right off. They cannot get it off at all. It is really slow. Oh, it's terribly slow. And now Verstappen's held up by everyone. Oh, it's a disaster. It is an absolute disaster. He can't go anywhere. There we go. Alonso now into the pits. Oh, that was... We have lost so many positions from that. An 8.852 pit stop. Really slow pit stop, and then couldn't get out because of all the traffic. Disaster for both drivers because, yeah, Verstappen being slow meant that Alonso was also slow. So, oh, we're outside the top 10 now. That was about as bad as it could have been. I think we can actually attack on these tyres because we're really not chewing into the tyres very much at all. So I reckon we can just go attack, and just see what we can do here because we're in an awful position right now with both drivers. Hopefully, though, we can make some overtakes. Difficult to do in the rain, I imagine. But Alonso here behind Magnussen should be quicker than the Williams, and he might even go for a move into the hairpin here. Let's have a look. Not quite for Alonso. Of course, no DRS anymore because of the rain. It's really coming down. I don't even know at what point we go onto the wets either. I'm just gonna have to see what the AI do because I've got no idea. I've never had wet weather running in this game. All right, Alonso has gotten past Magnussen. Let's have a look at that. Nice move into turn 1 there, through turn 3. Easy move for Alonso. We are starting to cook the tyres a little bit now though, so I'm gonna go back down to aggressive again. Hopefully that'll cool it down a little bit. Are we gonna have to go to standard? Maybe we might. Oh, Stroll's had a lock up. He was
looking quite damp.
He was in P1. He was in P1 in the race, and he's locked up into turn 1. That's given the lead to Lando Norris. So now Lando Norris and the Aston Martin leads this race. Oh, it looks like Alonso's just gotten past Sainz as well. I put him on a little bit of deploy there. So we should see a replay pop up in a second. There we go. Alonso overtakes Sainz.
Now with the Haas,
Now it
It's
is
there for the
Verstappen, the driver ahead of us. So we're making progress back in this race, but
That puts them in 13th
yeah,
place
it's
now.
really just overtaking cars that we were already ahead of, but got screwed over with that pit stop issue. Ooh, also, the battle for the lead. It looks like Russell's managed to get past Norris for the lead of this race. Will Russell go on to win another race? I think he's only not won one race so far, which Ocon won last time out in Bahrain, was it? However, it's looking very close at the moment. Norris is trying to fight back here. You've also got Ocon back there as well. His early stop onto the intermediates didn't actually seem to quite work out as well, because he only came out in like P4. Verstappen's now gotten past Gasly in the McLaren,
Taking the second corner.
so
There's
good
the
for
opening.
him. Looks like he's now up to P12. Awesome work for Verstappen. He is making the moves here.
Points in touching distance now.
All right, still looking pretty close between the top three here. Norris sticking with Russell, and Ocon just about hanging within a second behind them. Of course, though, no DRS in these conditions, but top three looking pretty close still at this point in time. Alonso's looking close to getting past Gasly here. Really slowed him down for quite a few laps. Verstappen's stuck behind Ricciardo, but Ricciardo should be quicker in that Aston Martin anyway. But I do expect Alonso to get past Gasly eventually. Just rather difficult. I'm constantly ebbing and flowing with this fuel load as well, because we're of course not using as much fuel being in the wet, but if I just go push all the time, we will still burn through it too much. Alonso may be going for a move here. He pulls to the outside, which is going to be the inside for turn one. Is he going to try and go for it? Ooh, he had a look, but not quite, not quite. Going to put him onto high overtake aggression to try and get this move done. Hopefully no mistakes made, but we really want to get past the McLaren here and get up there with our teammate. Perhaps we can both fight Ricciardo together. I'm going to push Verstappen on the fuel a little bit there as well, that he's falling behind. Alonso's tyres are getting quite hot. That is why we need to make this move. Here he goes, going for the move now on Pierre Gasly. Gasly's going to still fight this into the hairpin, but Alonso gets past. It's like Ricciardo got himself past Leclerc, so now Leclerc is the car ahead of us. So we'll see if we can get past him. Unfortunately, not quite able to get past Leclerc there for Verstappen. So we're going to have to hold back a bit, I think. Tyre's still looking very good, actually. Plenty of life in him. The rain actually looks like it's pretty much stopped, has it? It looks like it might come back again, but the rain seems to have eased off a bit for this point in time. Verstappen has gotten past Leclerc. Let's see how this happened. Down the inside of the hairpin. Nice move to get past there. Verstappen out to P10 into the points. Thank you, Crofty. Alonso is now within the DRS, although, like I said, no DRS available at the moment, but he's now within that 1 second of Leclerc, and Leclerc's just teetered outside of it from Verstappen. So let's see, with a little bit of push on the fuel, if Alonso can now get past. Oh, they're now side by side, Alonso and Leclerc. Alonso might have done it. Leclerc's trying to hang on as they head around the next corner. He's still just about got a nose right there. There's telling me the overtake's made, but it's not quite really made yet, as Leclerc's still fighting this one. Alonso now, though, has gotten past him. Awesome. We'll keep pushing on the fuel for a bit, actually, because the fuel really, goes back to positive quite quickly. So we'll push a little bit more on the fuel, see if we can pull away from Leclerc here. Verstappen now also in DRS range of Ricciardo, as I'm putting a bit of deployment on here because he's got 100% ERS at that point in time. So let's see if we can make anything stick here. Oh, here he goes. Here Verstappen goes on Ricciardo to the inside into the hairpin, and he's passed up into P9. Getting quite close again between Norris and Ocon here. Russell's kind of scattered off into the lead here, 3.3 seconds over Norris. But the battle for P2 still raging on at this point in time between the Aston Martin and the Red Bull. Ocon has gotten past Norris now. We missed the overtake, but he has made that move. I do kind of wish in this game, and maybe it's a thing they can do in the next game, I don't know, that, you know, we don't have to see every single move, you know, up here as a highlight, but maybe like within the top 10, or at least big moves for the lead or for the podium, it would be nice to have a replay come up that you can have the option of watching for those, because yeah, we do miss those lead moves sometimes. It would be nice to see them, especially, you know, we get all the replays of like lockups and spins by any driver, so it would be nice to at least, even if it's just within like the top 5 or the top 10, if we could see those moves on a replay, that would be pretty cool. Just noticed as well, Norris has gotten back past Ocon again, so it looked like Ocon was pulling away from Norris, but he's now gotten back past again. Ocon's still looking pretty quick here though. They've actually gained on Russell by a couple of tenths as well. You can just see him up ahead there, getting past, I think that was one of the RBs lapping that car. But Norris all of a sudden kind of come back alive in this race, so can he now go after Russell? Well, Verstappen has gone past Hamilton, and it looks like he's actually gone for a move on Bottas as well. But we'll watch this replay first. Getting past the first of the Alpines. Down the inside he goes. Hamilton fights it. Still technically side by side, but he just gets ahead there. And has he gotten past Bottas as well? He's still fighting with Valtteri Bottas at the moment. He could make 2 positions on 2 Alpines this lap, and it looks like he does. Verstappen on that lap from P9 up to P7 past both the Alpines. Great work. Alonso meanwhile still kind of stuck behind Ricciardo here, who's now pressurizing Hamilton in the Alpine. Meanwhile, it looks like Ocon's gotten back past Norris again, so these two fighting each other is helping Russell out, who once again extending his lead just over 3 seconds. Ooh, Alonso has gotten past Ricciardo.
Keep watching Alonso with this one.
Look at all these cars ahead. Once again up the inside of the hairpin. That's working very well for our drivers today.
Alonso with a wonderfully executed move.
Alonso's now gone past Hamilton.
Take a look now.
We're making moves late on in this race now to get back up into the top 10 again. I think that puts Alonso into P9 now, ahead of one of the Alpines.
And the Haas completes the move.
Now he can go and chase after the other, just like Verstappen did. Oh, Hamilton has gotten back past Alonso again, though.
Now we're with Lewis Hamilton here. There's the opening.
There he goes. Around the outside for Hamilton. Very nice move. Not much Alonso could do there, just kind of caught napping.
Lewis says, thank you very much.
Maybe Alonso having a look at a move on Valtteri Bottas here. He is. Bottas does well to defend. Can Alonso tuck back up behind and go for a move into the hairpin? Looks like he's trying to go for the inside right now. Nice little move up the inside. He makes this stick most of the time. There's not a lot of grip around the outside of that corner. And sure enough, Alonso gets back up into P9. Alonso has gone back past Hamilton again, up into P8 now.
We're looking at turn 11.
Once again, up the inside of the hairpin. Seems to be the favourite move for Alonso in this race. Nice work.
And the Haas completes the move.
So now I think our teammates are back-to-back. P7 for Verstappen, P8 for Alonso. Yep, that is the case. Let's put him back on neutral. And see what we can do here. Trying to go on standard on the tyres just because our tyre wear is quite a bit higher than everybody else's. So just try and, you know, I mean, we're not going to completely cook the tyres by the end of the race, but I just think that, you know, using a bit more tyre wear is causing us a little bit of grief, but it seems to very much be ebbing and flowing with who's quicker between us and, I mean, really the Alpines. It's very much a battle between us, Haas and Alpine at this point in time. Things getting close again in the top 3. I mean, it's a massive gap of 7.5 seconds between Russell and Ocon, but Norris has once again got that gap down to about half a second between him and Ocon. So the battle for P2 still very much on here. It could really go down to the wire with these two. I think we're pretty... Oh, Verstappen's pretty locked in. Alonso still's got a bit of pressure from the two Alpines behind. But we'll probably actually use a little bit of deployment. It's pretty high on ERS there. But it's really the battle between Norris and Ocon here for P2 in this race that is the one to watch. Right, we're on to the final lap here. I think Russell might be coming around now. Yes, he is coming through the wall of champions on his final lap. And George Russell is going to win the Canadian Grand Prix. Here he goes across the line. Another dominant win for George Russell. Very good work for him. It's still a bit of a battle for second place, but it is going to be Esteban Ocon that takes it. Norris in P3. He fought him all the way, but Russell is the winner.
Russell finishes in first place.
There we go. Across the line he goes. Another win for him. Only one loss this season so far.
Can't say they didn't earn it. They put in an amazing performance today.
For us, as we head down the front straight here, as Stroll finishes 4th, Hulkenberg 5th. It's going to be Perez just ahead of us there in 6th. For us, though, it's actually been a pretty decent recovery after what was a very scary and terrible pit stop at the start of this race. But Verstappen's going to finish P7. It's going to be Alonso P8. Our drivers back-to-back here. And we score some pretty good points. Like I said, was not expecting that after the horrible pit stop we had with Verstappen, which then also held up Alonso as well. So P7 and 8, I will take that any day of the week. It's another win for George Russell. That is 4 out of 5 wins this season. He's really, really dominant in this championship. This is now the halfway point. We're halfway through the season. Esteban Ocon comes home in 2nd. Lando Norris 3rd. It was a great battle between those two for that 2nd place, but Ocon just about got it by 1.7 seconds in the end, but a great battle all the way through. Like I said, P7 and P8 for Verstappen and Alonso. I think a pretty damn good result in the end. Verstappen apparently started P6, did he? I thought he started P7. Maybe he did start P6. Maybe there was a grid penalty, or maybe I just forgot what position he started, but apparently he went down 1 position. Alonso went up 2 because he started P10. So 10 points for the team. That is pretty good. I think that may be our best. Oh, I think we had a P5, didn't we, for Verstappen early on, but that's probably maybe joint our best points haul for a weekend. Yeah, not really a whole lot else to talk about. Drivers' Championship, as you can see, George Russell 117 points, Ocon in 2nd with 78, so Russell's still very much up there in the lead of this championship at the moment. He's also been on the podium every race this season, so the consistency is crazy, and yeah, only one of those he did not win. Ocon doing a good job though, 4 podiums, 1 race win. Norris also no wins yet, but 4 podiums, so he's been on the podium all but 1 time with a fastest lap as well. So he's doing well. Verstappen's actually up to P6 in the championship now, only 1 point behind Perez. So Max doing a great job there. Alonso's down in P11, not been quite as good for Alonso, you know, after a very promising first race of the season where he outscored Verstappen. He has been on the back foot ever since, but still 16 points for him, not too bad. In the Constructors, Red Bull are leading the way. Ferrari there in 2nd though. And where are we? Haas, we are P5, so we're still ahead of Alpine, just a little bit behind Mercedes actually, so not bad at all. And yes, still AlphaTauri, also known as RB, for some reason the name hasn't changed. McLaren, Williams, and Stake F1, all those 4 teams still yet to score a point this season. So let's continue on. Fastest pit stops. I don't think we did very well. We don't have any points in fastest pit stops. But yeah, I mean, our pit stops are not good. But the fact we haven't even scored 1 point all season in pit stops is pretty diabolical. But Haas aren't known for the best pit stops, to be fair. Continue on. There we go. There's our money. Money coming in, and continue on. That is the Canadian Grand Prix all done and dusted. It is now Baku next time around, round 6, Azerbaijan. That's where we'll be going next. So thank you guys very much for watching. If you enjoyed, please go ahead, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.